Welcome to Smash Writing. I'm Paul. This is Justin, and we are back at it again. And today,
we're back to doing the introductions.
That's right. Yeah.
Uh,
See, this is why we do group recording, so Justin can just get all his frustration out at once.
I put Fiona right here in between us just to aggravate the hell out of Paul.
There's more than he does. There's more he does to aggravate me, but that's all off camera. But today we are doing our top 10 favorite franchises.
Favorite franchises.
Let's do that.
Well, did you have issues trying to figure out what made a franchise? Like, what was the definition of a franchise?
No. So, when we were talking about this idea, the only really question I was trying to understand was, like, I know, like, now a franchise, you know, it has books, it has comic books, video games, movies. I just wanted to make sure it was the whole franchise, not film franchises, because then that kind of alters what my list would have been.
Yeah. Well, I went off the movie, like, immediately.
Yeah, but...
No, it's like, my thing's like, well, is Reacher a franchise? There's like 50, no, like 25. No, it's going to be over 30 now. 30 books.
2 movies.
2 movies and 1 series.
Which is now going to be in its 2nd season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that was a franchise.
Yeah, I could have put that on the list then.
Oh my god.
But then the movies are real bad.
I'll go first today. So, my number 10 is Friday the 13th. The first movies that me and my daughter is watching together.
Oh, come on. It's supposed to be Cocaine Bear.
Horror movies. Cocaine Bear will come down the road. So why is Friday the 13th one of my favorite franchises? Well, simply put, I grew up watching Jason. Now, up until probably about like 10 years ago, that's when I kind of understood that there was games involved and comic books too.
Yeah.
The TV show in the 80s. And then more recently, the announcement of Crystal Lake, which I guess is like a prequel or some sort.
Yeah, some kind of series. I'm not really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be trash.
But I don't know. I love the Jason character. Yeah, there's a couple of bad seeds that are in this franchise that I like to forget.
5.
5?
5. I like to forget 5.
5 of them or number 5?
No, number 5.
Okay. Mostly I like to forget is number 10.
Oh, how dare you. 10 was wonderful. 10 might be the best.
Of being trash.
It's rivaling number 6, alright? That's all I'm going to say. 10 is so much fun.
10 was the one that I literally bought just to complete the collection and nothing else.
10 I bought to watch on repeat. You heard me.
On repeat? I bought... My DVD might still have the plastic on it. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure I've watched 10 more than I've watched 1 through 4.
Get out. But yeah, no, I just generally really enjoyed the Jason character. You know, when it's on, I'm watching it. And that's how I know it's one of my top 10.
You have the date circled as a marathon that, yeah.
True, now that my daughter's born, at first, I would always do, every Friday the 13th, I would watch all of the films. Then my wife came along. She did that for like 2 Friday the 13th marathons, and then she's like, screw you, I'm not watching this over again. But now, my daughter doesn't have a choice.
She can't talk yet.
Exactly. But that's my number 10.
My number 10 is The Sims. I can't imagine why. Couldn't be there's a sim on every thumbnail, in every video.
There's no movie or anything.
Oh, no, I have no idea. I know people make like little movies through
Okay.
The Sims games and put them on YouTube. But, I played the first one when I was a kid. So hard, just trying to keep your Sims from not dying. And now they've got to the point where I've got 4 characters who are immortal, can't die, and just so much more wackiness that builds off top of it. I know some people, I read one and they said that they hate the fact that you can do weird things and they want to play The Sims like it's real life. I was like, I can't imagine why you'd want that. Good Lord.
That is true. That is true. My number 9, Halloween.
Ooh, this might be the...
It's
I've never most overrated horror franchise for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, I generally always keep enjoying watching the very first Halloween. I know these previous last three Halloweens were kind of very, very up and down. They had a good foundation, but then they just crumbled it. Some of the sequels that I catch myself watching over and over again is like 4 and 5.
Yeah,
Those are the most.
those are always on during Halloween time. That 4 and 5.
That's probably why I watch a lot.
It's 1, 2,
AMC
4,
probably
5.
just put it in my head. Like this could be an AMC sponsored pick.
Every now and again 6,
Ooh,
and then it just loops back.
H2O though is one that I watch common, a lot without AMC. Resurrection, no. Every time I watch that, I almost want to just like burn the franchise down.
I would watch Resurrection before I watch Kills or Ends.
That's on the boundary.
That's gonna be a conversation
Now,
for that Halloween
is there
thing.
books or anything with this franchise?
Oh, I'm sure. I just don't know.
Yeah, somebody leave a comment. Just let us know because like I would be interested in reading.
There's a YouTube video, like a YouTube movie someone made with Jason versus Michael. It's an interesting watch. Michael hits a roundhouse kick. I don't know how I feel about that.
Considering they're both like slow and they don't do round, yeah. But anyway, it's
I'm fairly certain my brain maybe just left my body in that moment. And I don't remember, but I do remember seeing a roundhouse kick at some point.
I think another point that helps me put this franchise on the list, and I know you're probably going to get excited about it, is Season of the Witch.
Yeah, that's...
I catch myself liking it more and more, and to a degree, because now
your cynicism is building. Now that you're a father, you're like, yes, I'd get that mask for my child.
my daughter would already buy the mask for herself. She's like, let's do this, Dad. Let's go. Calm down. But I'll be honest with you, that film is a good film, and it hurts my liking for the franchise because I would actually like it to be a Halloween film where it was a different topic.
I almost would have wished Carpenter would have been able to do what he wanted. And it'd be like a different movie or different
That's what I'm saying. Like
every Halloween, yeah.
That's what made me like in later years now, and I'm talking maybe like last 15 years that I catch myself liking it more and more and getting disappointed that this Halloween franchise could have went in this direction.
I think they succeeded where Friday failed with Season of the Witch.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that is my number 9, Halloween.
My number 9 was sticking with the horror genre with Nightmare on Elm Street. My first horror movie was Nightmare 1. It was on New Year's 7. Because I remember everyone was going out to play in pots and pans. They're like, "You coming, Justin?" I'm like, "No!" It was Nancy just when she was bringing him into the real world. I even like 6. Watch them all except for Dream Child. This is a fantastic.
What number was Dream Child?
Dream Child was 5.
Okay. Why not?
Because it was bad. I liked the concept. It just fell in its face.
Okay. That way. What about the New Nightmare and the remake?
New Nightmare's good. I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. I think the remake is better than what people make it out to be.
I completely 110% agree that the remake was a lot better than people
make it out to be.
Yeah.
I get where the criticism is because they still have done no real new kills in this franchise.
Right.
But it does have moments. It's a lot better than what people make it out to be. But of course, he was not going to be as good as England. Like, you don't have to compare them. You could just enjoy them each for what they were. They each went different ways.
Yeah, I mean, they evolved the character in different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he could have easily, if people got over their high horse and took and allow it to be a sequel, I could see him as being a new full-time Freddy.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to that?
No, that's it. I'm very curious about why you have number 8 after those movies.
Okay.
Because there's never been a hill. There's never been a...
My number 8 is Transformers as a whole franchise. Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The cartoons.
I did hear Bumblebee was supposed to be really good.
Bumblebee was good. I watched it. Own it. So here's the thing. I grew up enjoying the cartoons. I would have the Transformer toys, all
Yeah.
of that growing up. The movies, the first movie, was like, oh, this is your childhood right here. Coming to the big screen, how cool was it? Problem is, I don't think part one was so bad. Problem was the sequels.
I tried watching a little bit of part one the other day, actually, during commercials of Dynamite.
During the commercial. Wait, a minute. We got 90 seconds to watch this scene real quick. Real quick.
Those 90 scenes were unwatchable. They were so bad. You should not watch that movie anytime soon because you'll realize how bad it actually was.
The problem, like, what this movie franchise went with the movie perspective of it was,
Not including Beast Wars sooner.
and I haven't seen Rise of the Beast or Rise of the Beast Wars, whatever the title is, so I don't know. I'm not judging it until
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet.
2, 3, 4, 5. 2 was all right, but as much as they were stretching this out into a trilogy and all that, they started like the writers were getting like adding their elements here, and it was just kept backtracking everything the previous movie did, and that kind of left a sour taste in it too. Where the last film, which was what the Last Night?
Oh, I don't know.
No, Age of Extinction with the dinosaurs things. I only watched it because I thought the T-Rex Transformer would be cool to look.
Yeah.
And that's probably why I want to give the Beast ones to see them in action with the Beast. Bumblebee, the prequel, and kind of like a soft reboot of the franchise, was a movie part of it was actually a good movie. So I'm curious to see how Rise of the Beast plays off of that and then moves forward, because I think this is still technically a prequel series, because
I do know the post-credit scene.
I do know the post-credit scene too.
So we're going to have that spin-off.
How do you feel about that? Without spoiling it, how do you feel?
Oh God, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care about G.I. Joe.
You just ruin it
At
for
this
the 30
point.
people that watch our stuff.
All 5 of you.
10 of those accounts are ours. But that's why it's my number 8. It's honestly more for the 80s cartoons, the toys.
You know what's funny is how people, like, when I knew Transformers, it was the Beast. So when the movie came out, I'm like, why the hell are there cars? I didn't know they were cars first, and then...
Justin does things backwards, so just let him go. He's special.
My number 8.
No, your style.
Yeah, I mean, you could just... Where do you think it would fit above any of those other ones?
I'm on, you know what, to be honest with you, because of your style, I'm shocked that it probably cracked the top 10, yeah.
Yeah, it's the MCU. You know, the thing, it's all the memories behind the MCU. I know a lot of people were, like, raining off of it, and I'm like, no, I'm still here, I'm still on this ride, I'm not getting off yet.
I mean, I'll stay silent because I'll talk about that soon enough, too. But I mean, I like I think the MCU is still going strong. It's just...
Yeah, it's still making money.
I think it's kind of like just in a rebuilding phase.
Yeah.
But you have to
Yeah.
keep it fresh.
Just don't go into a rebuild phase like the Pirates. We're rebuilding. How long have you been rebuilding? For the past 27 years. We're still rebuilding.
Hey, you don't count 2013 to 2015. Those were the good days.
Yeah, the good days.
My number 7 is Pokemon.
Pokemon.
What can you say about it? Like, as a kid growing up, you knew you had the cards. I mean, I remember at one time in the hype of things of Pokemon, you had literally leagues and tournaments of taking your Pokemon cards and...
They're still going on.
But not as probably as big. Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, maybe because I just...
You just left the scene.
Yeah. Because I still can't find my big box of Pokemon cards that was like 8 years ago.
I know where mine went to the dump. With that holographic Charizard card that was in there.
But
either not a few $1 million
it was
right
fun.
now or anything.
Yeah, yes. Look, you probably would have had a more high-profile YouTube page if you kept.
I'd have a nicer camera.
Yeah. No, but the franchise, like, I remember just growing up, I probably wasn't a super big fan of the actual cartoon series.
I was here for the series.
I was here for the cards. I got into the series because of the cards. The movies, the animation movies.
I was not here for the movies. I watched the first one, and I'm like, I'm done with these movies.
Yeah, I kind of like lost them after the first one, but as a collective whole, I think this is like a really, really great franchise to enjoy. Definitely as a kid, to where you could, the Friday the 13th and the Halloween kind of was like the horror side where like you couldn't share this with every kid. Man, every kid like loved Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em
We
all.
both stayed in the children area here for 7, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. So that was my number 7.
My number 7, I didn't grow up with. I played Mario, it was fine. I played Sonic, which was a lot of fun. But the best of the 3, and I'm very much in the minority, Crash Bandicoot. But I'm so glad that it came back and it's flying high again because I love Crash. The hell on those levels. I didn't have a memory card, so I would always get to like the rope bridge one and just suffer, die, and then turn off the system in rage and have to restart all over again. Yeah, even the new game. I died over 100 times on the last level because it keeps score for you, so it'll tell you how many times you failed.
Like
Nothing like that.
suck.
Running the scoreboard up to see you fail every time.
Like you suck that bad. Maybe you should play a different game, Justin.
No, I finally did it after like try 128, 129.
It's probably they had a cap and they were like, just make it easier for this person.
If a new game came out tomorrow, I would play it in a heartbeat. They just put like a battle royale with the Crash characters, and I'm like, I'm not going to actually play battle royale games. Now Crash is a number 1.
Okay, my number 6. This is Justin's number 8. Is the MCU. So, love Marvel. Love it as a overall gigantic franchise. Seeing them bring newer characters to life, yes, Iron Man now is very popular, but in 2008, Iron Man was a B character that they took a gamble on. I love them. Some of the best movies was really the Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Yeah.
Just so many great films in this franchise as a whole. In the character development. Now we're pushing on to the shows aspect of it, and honestly, I felt like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was a really good series. I gotta get caught up on Secret Invasion.
I'm here for Hawkeye. I thought that was the best of those shows so far.
That was another good show. You go back to the Netflix side of things with Daredevil.
Oh, Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
That'll be something we have to rank one day.
Yeah, we've been every time we sit there and go, we bring that idea up, 2 more shows get added, so then we have to wait like another year to even do the idea. So that idea is going to have to be like a volume 1, volume 2, because while this is still active, you can't rank them.
But I'm not ranking them every time a new one comes out. That's insane.
Why?
Because that's like, well, if it doesn't crack my top 10, why would I do a ranking?
Well, in that case, yes. But yeah, I've enjoyed all the shows besides Miss Marvel. The show didn't do it for me. I don't know why. It's nothing. I don't know. It just didn't catch on for me.
I'm so far behind on the shows.
What's the last show you watched?
I got through about half She-Hulk.
Oh wow, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I just haven't gone back to it.
No, I didn't find nothing wrong with it. I don't know why it got so much hate as it did.
Yeah.
No.
The internet's weird.
Before we go to Justin's number 6, I'm going to make a late-minute change on my number 5.
No good. Well, when we get there.
Okay. My number 5 was controversial, but I realized there's a franchise that I can't believe I've missed that I really like. But go with your number 6.
My number 6 is The Evil Dead. Just perhaps the best horror best remake of all time. With the Jane Levy one playing Emilia. Evil Dead Rise was wonderful as well. I love the fact that they went in a different direction with those two, because the Bruce Campbell ones have always been more on the goofy, gory side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get into the newer ones
Actual
with
horror.
Mia and the family in Rise, and it's like, oh no, this is a war. And you still have the same trash talking from the Deadites and everything.
What I enjoyed about the Rise was it took place in an apartment building.
Yeah, that was
And
the only one.
then it brought it to the woods.
Yeah,
That was actually pretty fun.
little mix up of the sceneries really were helped out. I don't think it did as good as the remake, but that was mainly because they didn't have Mia.
Mm.
Mia looking up from the cellar and watching the woman cut her arm off. Like, that's what I'm here for.
Well, what I'm glad
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Rise, what I like about what the Rise did is I also went away from the whole chainsaw for a hand and gun thing.
I mean, yeah.
Like when they teased it though.
Yeah.
Like I like it because I was like, don't do it, be original. And then they did it. I'm like, there you go.
I was talking to someone before about to see Rise. I'm like, guaranteed someone's losing a hand and that person's getting a needle in the eye. Yeah, that won't happen.
But it wasn't a bad thing in my eyes. I really, the one thing like watching this franchise, and maybe I'm not a big fan like you, but I've watched all the films to this point. I didn't watch the show, but I did subscribe to Stars for 6 months for $20, so I watched the show. I know it's on Netflix too, but it did kind of keep it all fresh through. Yeah, you had the Bruce Campbell Part 1 and 2, campy, gory. Then you had it just dark comedy in the Army of Darkness,
Yeah.
which is actually one of my favorite films, like to watch. But then you get into modern day horrors like the 2013 with Mia and all that, and then you flipped it again for 2020. So they kept it fresh, and that's kind of what I enjoyed. Like
They added a little bit more comedy to Rise. I really didn't like the big blob monster.
all the things put together.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. Because I thought the mom was scarier by herself than the giant blob monster could ever be.
Actually, I agree with that because that I just kind of was like, I thought the same thing. Like the mom herself, how she was like giggling and her bone structure. And
Mommy's with the maggots now.
yeah.
Yes. Kill those children.
This is one my daughter's like way in the other room up there. So
You're number 5.
my
You're
number
changing
5, I'm changing it, a late changement. So let me tell you first, my original number 5 was James Bond. And I told Justin literally before we got on camera that this would be a controversial pick because, as you guys know,
we have not liked any of the early James Bond so far.
No. And we're literally still a film away from getting to Roger Moore. Diamonds Are Forever will be coming up soon. I like James Bond to this point so far because of Daniel Craig's films. He got me into James Bond. So this is why I said out of 24 freaking films,
27.
27? Oh my god. We have so many more?
Yes.
You bastard. Out of 27 films, literally 5 of them is so far my favorite.
We're 13 away from Brosnan.
Oh god. So only 5 of them. But while we were sitting here, I looked over at my books, and I don't know if Justin can see it from his angle because I have a binder on it, but there's 2 books over there.
Oh, you going Game of Thrones?
Yep.
Oh, for God's sakes.
So guess what my new number 5 is, guys? Game of Thrones. I don't know why I like this series. I think maybe the details. I got into the show.
With everyone else.
No. That is the false thing right there. I actually didn't get into the show until season 4. A buddy of mine, we were home for like literally the week. We were both off for the week, and he comes to me and he goes like, "Have you ever heard of Game of Thrones?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "We got nothing else to do this week. Let's watch this." I'm like, okay. First couple episodes of season 1, I'm like, what am I watching? But somehow I kept getting hooked onto it, and watched the show ever since. When they brought back the Game of Thrones House of Dragon, I got intense into it, and at the same time, I started buying the books. I think it's addicting to watch. I think Martin is so detailed with his characters and everything that I'm just kind of hooked on it. So my new number 5 is Game of Thrones.
I've never watched an episode. I will never watch an episode. The fan base, I'll never watch it because of them. Yeah, it's so obnoxious.
You need to stop doing that. You just need to watch it just to see if you like it.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Them and Scarface, I'll never watch them.
Because of the fan base. Half these franchises have annoying fan bases.
Yeah, but the Game of Thrones ones were particularly obnoxious.
Why?
I don't know.
Go with your number 5.
The Simpsons, of course. Longest running animated show, probably longest running show at this point.
If it isn't, it's pushing that. It's pushing the boundaries.
I'm still here for every episode. I know that people are like, it started sucking after season blah blah blah. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. They're all still really good. I'm still here for every new episode.
Or Disney is killing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Wait, that has a little bit more string to it than...
No.
No. Okay.
I'm still having a great time with The Simpsons. I ranked all the Treehouse of Horrors like 2 or 3 years ago on the blog site.
Yes.
It was like 31 seasons, I think, 32 seasons of Treehouse of Horrors. My God, that list was brutal to make. But I'm still here. They built not just a little family, a little nucleus family with some side characters. No, they made a town. You can follow anyone from this town at any moment. An episode can be based around them. It'll be great.
And the haunting, how they always predict the future.
Well, some of them are stretches. Some of them are real stretches.
Give it a real stretch.
Like the 9/11 ones are real stretches. They do not predict 9/11.
What did they predict that got it close to it?
Nothing. They're really. What did they predict? People were talking about the subway one, which not the subway, the submarine stuff.
Oh, okay.
That was one that was a lot of fun. What were some of the other ones they predicted? Were they given video calls or something like that?
Something, yeah.
I can't remember what all. There's been a lot of stuff that have been deemed predicted.
And it was just a stretch.
Yeah, just not 9/11 one was like, no, they did not predict 9/11.
Okay. I'll be mentioning Simpsons soon enough too. So, my number 4 is the Dragon Ball franchise. So here's the thing. The first episode I ever watched was an episode of Dragon Ball Z, and I thought it was stupid. I spent a summer up in Cincinnati with my family, my cousin. He was deep into it. Watched it. Didn't like it. But then, like literally, like 7-8 years later, I catch like the very first episode, and I wasn't like in between the episodes. Since then, I've been hooked on it. I love the animation. I love the storytelling on a lot of it. The action is a good follow up. The amount of movies they did. The DBZ movies, is not canon, but they were still good to watch. Then after I finished Dragon Ball Z, literally I found like, oh well, there's Dragon Ball. And I'm like, what? It's Goku's younger days. Got hooked onto that.
I tried, but those are bad. I think the original Dragon Ball. If I watched the original Dragon Ball first, I would not have moved on.
I like the later seasons when Goku's more of like a teenager size.
Yeah, adult.
Yeah, rather than like a shrimp that's like 2 feet tall. Sure.
A child.
Yeah, but he was like 12 and size of a baby. Like he was just super small. I get it. Saiyans are short.
Well, Vegeta is short. The rest of them are tall.
That is true.
Nappa, Raditz, Goku,
Broly, Pegasus,
yeah,
King Vegeta.
Yeah, Vegeta is short.
GT probably wasn't my favorite, honest with you. I actually have, I don't know where they are. I actually have some Dragon Ball Z trading cards. Hell, I even got into Dragon Ball Kai, or Dragon Ball Z Kai, whatever they called it.
Yeah, that's because it's
Even
the
though it's
shortened down seasons.
Yeah, even those like
They got rid of the fluff.
yeah. Got into Dragon Ball Super and see that they're continuing on the great work they do with their character arcs and everything.
Dragon Ball Super might be where I stop. Because I've already looked ahead, I saw what they're doing and everything, and I'm not on board for any of it really.
What
So
do you mean?
I don't really like the direction they've gone into in the
Okay.
manga anyway. So Dragon Ball Super might be where I stop.
Well, we'll see in due time, but for now, it
And
is.
your personal favorite, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Is that on our recording list for?
No, I did not put it on the recording list because I forgot to.
Don't worry.
We'll get to it eventually.
It'll be a Christmas movie review. But that is my number 4, Dragon Ball.
My number 4 is Scream. Of course it is. That's some of the best final girls between Sid, Sam, and Tara. I still love trying to figure out the mystery of who's behind the ghost face. I love 6. I don't know if you've seen 6 yet.
I have.
You have? Okay. I loved how that started with the false flag ghost face.
Mm-hmm.
And I want another one. I need more Scream.
Now he wants his 7.
I want
He's
7.
gonna have to wait 11 years now.
We are going to wait for the shrinks to be over.
That is so true.
Pay the writers their fucking money. The actors, what the fuck's wrong with you people? Good lord.
It's a $1 trillion industry. There's plenty of money to go around. But continue on.
I'm here for, I love the kills. I love the mystery aspect, like I said. I love the side characters. The core 4. We need more core 4. Don't let it end there.
So my number 3 is want to touch upon what Justin was talking about in his number 5, The Simpsons. Though I really haven't watched the show consistently over the last couple of years, that doesn't take away that I grew up watching The Simpsons. Before there was Family Guy and even South Park, this show was bending the rules. It's a kid's show. It's a cartoon.
What's
for
so
kids.
funny is you watch those earlier seasons and you're thinking like, what were they offended over?
That is
What
true.
were they offended over?
That is true. Compared to everything else, yeah.
Well, not even just compared to everything else. Just what is there to be offended about?
True. But nevertheless, and it's not to say that, I won't get into it. It's like right now, life is so busy and stuff's being added on. But it doesn't take away my passion from loving The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. The video game was a lot of fun. The Simpsons movie.
Yeah, I own the movie. I thought the movie was hilarious.
Yeah.
God, what was like one scene that was like there were so many.
We're on the roof. He's like he's trying to hit the nail in, and you think he's going to hit his hand, but he ends up sticking in his eye.
Yeah, like there are some good memories of that. We might have to review that film.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, like the passion's still there. How the opening with Bart skating, like, is
Yeah.
he going to show full nudity? Nope.
Yep, there it is.
There it is. But no, it's a good. It's weird because it's a good family laugh. Like me and my daughter's going to be watching Simpsons soon, and that's my number 3. Your number 2, which caught me off
My
guard.
number 3.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Your number 3. For that, I went first.
My number 3, of course, is Silent Hill. Granddaddy, a psychological whore. Oh, it's wonderful. Just any of the games, really. I know people claim they died off toward the end. I don't think so. I think they're a lot better than some people make them out to be. But obviously, you're comparing it to 1, 2, and 3. You got a hard bar to match there. I really enjoyed the Silent Hill movie. The second Silent Hill movie has its moments. It's not great, but I could see where he's going for. I see where he failed. But there are still moments that I enjoyed of it. And, I can't wait for it to come back. Sooner than later, please.
Writer's strike. I didn't know
Yeah,
Silent
you're not wrong, are you? That would be affected by the writer's strike.
Everything's being affected by the writer's strike. I got into Silent Hill. I didn't know it was a game. I'm not a video gamer per se. But I enjoyed the first film. I thought it was a really, really trippy movie. And I was confused about the ending for like the longest freaking time.
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't understand the concept until like I looked into it, saw the games. You're right. Part 2 had its moments. Still enjoyed Part 2. I don't say I hated or anything like that, but no, that's how I got into it.
That's because you have the blissful knowledge of not knowing what these characters are.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably why. Like, if I knew in advance of details that I know now, I probably would like the film a lot more. My number 2 is The Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Boo!
Shut up,
These
Hagrid.
movies suck.
The movies are so. I feel like the movies leave out a lot of details.
But the books suck too.
Did you read the books?
Yes, I read to 4.
Yeah.
Then
Look how many other books there are over there.
I
There's
started,
5, 6.
Yeah, you know what? I started reading 5, and she wouldn't shut the fuck up over the corridor. After like 20 pages, I'm like, no, I'm fucking done.
Well, still, I still have to read the Cursed book. It was given to me as a gift. I just haven't got to it yet.
Her desperate grab of infinity.
I am actually looking forward to the Max reboot. I hope that the series does go into more detail with the books. That would
Well,
be
are
nice.
you talking about the details in the book or the details J.K. wanted to include? Because she has a bunch of that too.
I don't know. I gotta give it I kind of gotta see where it goes. But I do know the movies left out a lot from the book. So,
Because there was a point there for a while she was on Twitter like, oh, I meant to do this, I meant to do this, and I meant to
now
do this.
the Fantastic Beast and Where to Find Them side of things. Wasn't a fan of the first film. I think that's hurting me from watching the next 2, but I'm still going to give them a try and probably give them a review up on here soon. But overall, it's still one of my favorite franchises, and you know, where I'm going to read. I haven't read the books in like 30 years, but I used to like read them like over and over again. Just haven't had the time. But that's my number 2.
My number 2 is Resident Evil.
Which shocked me at first because of how much you dislike the actual movies.
Yeah, the Mila Jovovich movies. The first one was good. 2 was still okay. Then they fell off the hill.
I agree.
And I really love the games. They're my favorite games. I have them on every system I own. They're on there. If it can be on it, it's on it. And I really enjoy the computer-generated movies, the animated movies.
I think I've been giving them high praise too.
Oh, it's August, which means the new one's out. Remember the one thing I said? I wanted a movie with all the characters. I wanted Chris, Leon, Jill, and Claire. The new animated movie is Chris, Leon, Jill, and Claire in it. It's like, yes.
They came.
Give me what I wanted.
They came to you. You talked to them. Justin's a big time person in Hollywood.
Yes, the big YouTuber. I did really enjoy Raccoon City. I think that was all my 10 movies of the year that year.
Yeah, it was. I remember that.
They nail the remakes. They get the games. Resident Evil all day long.
Okay, my number 1 franchise overall is Star Wars. Believe it or not, as time grew on, went on, and me watching this series, the movies didn't actually get me deep into the franchise. Like, if I was just watching the movies, this actually, all truth be told, would probably be farther up on my list. It's because I got into the books, I got into the comics, and the shirts, I had a lightsaber with my wife at my wedding. It was everything else. The movies was just a byproduct. The show.
Did you have a lightsaber at the wedding?
Uh-huh.
Why do I not remember that?
Because you were probably already gone. Don't make Justin a groomsman at the wedding. If he tells you he's going to take a photo and that's it, he legitimately means it.
I did everything a groomsman is supposed to do, and then I left. So there was nothing more for me
He
to
didn't
do.
even eat dinner. He was like, gone.
I couldn't. I broke a tooth.
Oh, here we go. At least you did give me a heads up.
Yeah, I gave you a heads up ahead of time.
So when everybody was like, what an ass, I'm like, well, he did tell me that he's not a people person and he was peopled out. But no, all jokes aside, no, it was the books and the comics. I mean, most of my comics actually are the Darth Vader sagas.
I'm here for Ahsoka Tano and the Clone Wars series, and that's it.
And I'm curious to see that as well.
The only movie I enjoyed was Rise of Skywalker for a little bit.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
Why for a little?
When the Jedi's were calling, I'm like, I recognize some of those voices from the Clone Wars.
You're like, I know them. I'm still desperate for them to do a Old Republic film series. Like, don't get me
You're in
wrong.
luck. They're going to make an Old Republic game.
Well, I prefer a movie. But that is my number one. Your number one, like, if people pay attention to you, you had to ballpark it.
Yeah, I mean, Fee's rocking the gun in every month last year. Fee had one of the guns. Yeah, it's Predator. Come on now. Of course it is. Look at them. They're amazing. You go deep into the lore in the comic books. Their names are the Yautja. The Audible books. They're amazing to listen to. Always get the Audible books. There's so much depth and lore and characters and who they hunt and why they hunt like this and what happens to you if you break their hunting rules. It's amazing. The Yautjas are the greatest aliens that have ever been given to us.
And Prey was, I think we both gave it high.
Yeah, Prey was on our movie. Was Prey our movie of the year? Because we tied.
I think so.
Prey was our movie of the year last year.
And that was really good. And it was, screw people who say like streaming movies are not that good. That was a great damn film. Good job. That is our
top 10 favorite franchises
as a whole. Until next time.
Bye bye.